All right, gaming in the 2000s versus today, the 20s. I was thinking to start off, we just kind of give our backgrounds. So my first console in the 2000s, the Game Boy, bought
Okay.
specifically for Pokemon. Uh, Played it a little bit in the 90s. Um, so like if you know what Pokemon Crystal is
hmm
or not. Um,
No, not really, but
then then I bought the GameCube originally just for Pokemon. Literally just so I would have like a second Game Boy and I could trade with myself. Because the GameCube doesn't the GameCube in my Discord profile doesn't have the Game Boy adapter on the bottom, but uh, other ones do.
sure.
People watching this will know what I'm talking about, as long as they're not too young. Uh, After that, got the Wii. Um, Back in those days, didn't play it all a lot because I was kind of like, what the fuck?
Sure.
Nintendo, what are you doing? 13-year-old Vince. Um, Last Wii game I ever bought back then, Madden '09 for the Wii. If you want to piss someone off, buy that for them. That game was. I think I've told you about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally told you when to throw the ball on a passing play. Like the players would light up blue, and then you wouldn't even like hit the same button. On the Wii, it was just move the Wii controller in a throwing motion, and your guy throws it. Horrible.
Really?
It's so funny
Wow.
too. When I got it for my birthday that year, I even had a buddy that was like, "You're not gonna want to play this." As soon as I opened it. Got it on like $50, and yeah, he hit it right on. I didn't think I even think I didn't even open it. Like took the plastic off for a little bit, but yeah, horrible game. Then the 360. Not gonna get super into Call of Duty because we just had a podcast on that. But like I
Right.
said, bought a 360 just for Call of Duty. Love zombies. Second Modern
Yeah.
Warfare. And then obviously that goes more into the 2010s and where we are today.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, you want to in like the 2000s, kind of
Yeah.
say your
So
shit.
I, yeah, I guess I probably actually started right where you did with a Game Boy, but I had Batman Beyond um, back in the day. I had that. I had um, I think I had a fucking like Ninja Turtles game or something like that too. I don't know, something nuts. Uh, but only played it a little bit here and there just because I didn't have like a memory stick or anything like that. And I hated just restarting over and over and over. But eventually, uh, my first official console that I had was the original Xbox, and I mean I had the basic necessities. You know, I had Halo. I had a couple old Star Wars games. By far, my favorite of all the games I had for the Xbox was a little game called Spartan Total Warrior that not a whole lot of people know about, and I would buy a brand new Xbox just for this game because it was by far the most fun I ever had, and I beat it maybe 50 times.
Is it like a
uh,
single player game or like a strategy?
uh, it's like a single player. Basically, is like obviously you're a Spartan, and you're just killing shit.
Oh,
Whether it's like bandits or Romans or zombies, and you're fighting shit. It's just pointless and lots of blood and gore. Everything like a 12-year-old wants in a video game. Um, then from there, it's 360 and then PS4. So definitely a variety for sure.
what was that game called? You said
Spartan Total Warrior. It was fucking fantastic. I love that game so much. I wish there was something like it.
Oh yeah. Don't know why they didn't. But yeah,
But
otherwise,
yeah.
so like the big thing to get into is like, you know, back in those days, pre-internet for the most part. Um, did you ever like look up cheat codes, like when you did have a little bit of internet for
Uh,
anything in
for
the games?
GTA, yes,
Which one? The third?
yeah.
Vice
But
City?
my for the third one and Vice City, my cousins did it for me. And then wrote it all down on a piece of paper, and I would keep it in the case. And then whenever I got bored, pull it out, and there's all my cheat codes.
I just remember too, like elementary school or like the last few years of elementary school and middle school, they do the book fair thing.
Yep.
Only book I would ever like look for and buy was like the one with cheat codes. And now that's just gone. Now instead of buying
Yeah.
those books, kids are buying skins, battle passes,
Right.
you know, DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's online. Uh, I will say though, one thing I do remember for like looking up Pokemon cheat codes online is there's some bullshit. Like people would just make shit up, and yeah, a lot of the times it was just a waste of time. Like hold these certain Pokemon at this certain percent or health, and
Oh
some will
yeah.
happen. And I don't know. I just remember a few times like why are these people even saying this? Like, yeah. What was the first game you ever played? What was like your first ever online multiplayer?
My first online multiplayer would be it would be Battlefield 2. Before Bad Company was even a thing. It was on the PlayStation 2. Um, it was my first anything online, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Because back then it was shitty headsets.
Yeah.
It was as toxic as MW2 days for sure,
Yeah.
and and everything. It was the greatest thing ever, and I was hooked instantly as soon as my dad put me on that thing, just to see what I would do. It was fantastic. You're driving around cars, planting landmines and claymores everywhere, and you're blowing up people, just in the middle of a city, and you're blowing up real people too. It was fucking great. You're like, I fucking killed that guy, not no computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
What
for
about
me,
yours?
Call of Duty. And just seeing
Really?
it and just being like, wow, you can play. Well, and like I was a Zombies fan. It's like, dang, I get this. Any given time, I got someone to play zombies with and people
Right.
online. Even if I don't want to, I wasn't a big troll, but like, oh, it's like, oh, just being able to mess with people. And then like, I get into there's some DLC, but like skins and other crap like that wasn't as pushed,
Yeah.
which is nice. And like how people always talk about too back in these days, with like the GameCube 360, when you bought a game, it didn't have a million bugs.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, and you kind of know what you're getting to. Because yeah, back in the 2000s, what did you pre-order?
Nothing. I didn't
Like,
pre-order anything until
right,
Spider-Man.
right. Like, I, Modern Warfare 2, I think I bought it the day it came out, but like,
Yep.
I didn't, I didn't pre-order. And I mean, I don't know, like, It wasn't a mess at launch. I don't think anyone was worried they were gonna drop the ball.
Right.
And then
Well,
like
yeah.
yeah, and then like at school, you even brought it up in the Call of Duty one. Like it was a talk at school, so like I knew that the morning it came out, it was a hit. I wasn't gonna regret buying it.
No. And the thing about it is like you couldn't release a game at half finished like you can now. Back then, that's just you just couldn't. Your game would never get played ever again. Especially a game like Call of Duty, where you fuck up bad at the beginning of you starting to earn some street cred. I mean, your thing is done. Look at Mass Effect. I mean, after 3, which people didn't like for whatever reason, it was done. And even when Andromeda came out,
Yeah, another example of that is Fable 3. That one got a lot of hate. There's no Fable 4 or Fable, just prequel or any other Fable.
Right.
And then, I'm sure there's other examples of that.
Right.
Yeah. The nice thing, too, with those days, is, I don't know, just having people over, too, where games now today are definitely meant to be played online, and like one person per Xbox or PC or whatever.
Right. See, that's where I don't really care too much. The LAN parties were always kind of fun here and there, and stuff, but I kind of like having the full screen to myself.
I think definitely for a shooter.
Yeah, well, for a shooter, or just games in general too, because like playing with the brother back in the day and stuff, we would always play 2-player games, and it was just kind of nice to get the screen to yourself every now and then.
Yeah. But some games though you don't need split screen, but if you're playing everything on Xbox, I guess.
Right.
Like Mario Party.
Right.
I don't really ever do mini games.
Well, see, we were never a Nintendo family anyway. Besides the Wii, which I'm sure we'll have a nice long conversation about that. We were never that, so I mean, it was always what can we play, or we can either kill each other or do whatever we need to do together. And there wasn't a ton of story based 2-player games. There was some here and there, but a lot of times they weren't ever very good.
Did you ever play the Lego Star Wars back in the
day?
day?
Yeah, I played that first one when it came out. Yeah. That was pretty good. Now they kind of suck.
Yeah, I played the second one on the GameCube.
Because I actually recently got the Jurassic World one for Lucas because he loves dinosaurs. And they just don't play the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of a shame.
Yep. Yeah, the Lego Star Wars one, I remember when I got the second game, for whatever reason, I didn't want to take it out of my GameCube until I beat it like 100%. I put so many hours into the second one.
And what was really fun about that one even was the because you collected the characters and you would go back to the cafe and then you just go around fucking killing all of them.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that was fucking fun. But no, I mean, yeah, those Lego Star Wars games were really, really fun. Surprisingly
for the time,
fun.
Yeah.
I even played the Indiana Jones one too when that one came out.
On what?
I think that was 360.
Oh.
I think it was one of the games that came with it. So I played through that one as well. And that one wasn't too bad, but just not the same. Not the same.
Okay, so you play any PC games in the 2000s?
Well, Was it? Yeah, it was 2000s. World of Warcraft.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I played the free
But you
trial a
never.
million times.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you never bought the membership though, so
Nope.
you're kind of kind of
Mm-mm.
not legit.
Mm-mm. Let's see. I don't know if you remember this. Back in the day, these commercials were on all the fucking time, especially on Disney and stuff like that. Wizard 101. You ever hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
played that.
I can picture like the text.
hmm
Um, and I know the world you're talking about, but yeah, I never actually played it.
Yeah, I played that. I was like seeking out games to play that were like World of Warcraft that didn't need me to pay for anything.
Mhm. Uh,
So I played all those games like that.
I had a girl that used to watch me on Twitch, and she used to be on Discord till she had her kid, and she made some YouTube videos, and it would just be voiceovers, and yeah, the Wizards 101 was the
So
game she was playing, and this was like 2015, 2016.
I wonder if that video
Uh,
game is even fucking still around. I doubt it.
wow, right. I think she was like the only one in the world. Like, or I mean, like her world,
Yeah.
whatever they're called.
Um, I also played a ton of Toontown when I could find it. For some reason, they tried to hide that game. But I played a shit ton of that as well. It was like the Disney, almost World of Warcraft style thing,
Hmm.
with a shit ton of mini games, and it was almost like Fall Guys for the mini games, which was kind of cool.
Oh,
But then they also had like, there was bad guys or whatever in the world, and you're like throwing pie and shit at them because it's Disney. So it was like Mickey Mouse style cartoon effects and shit. Played a shit ton of that.
um, did you ever play, or did you ever go on the website Congregate
Yeah,
back in 2000s?
fuck yeah.
Cause yeah, that was some. Oh man, I got banned on so many accounts. Just talking random shit.
Would do that all the time in school.
um, cause I mean partially cause like I was just waiting for Christmas to come, and then I have my 360 and membership, and Congregate was like just to get me by, and oh, I talked
Right.
so much shit on there just for just picked arguments over the dumbest things. And then I remember a couple times freedom of speech. That's the last thing I'd say, and then they fucking ban me.
That, and then there was like a mouse hunt or something like that game where it's like 50 mice players or whatever do obstacles and shit to get the cheese. Nah, it was stupid shit, man.
Uh-huh.
That was really big.
Yeah, gaming in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
The peak of gaming.
Oh, I don't know.
uh, Whatever, we'll get into it. But so a quick little story about the PC too. Um, so it's kind of funny. Like I didn't really think of myself. I did have a computer in my room
Sure.
growing up for a little bit. And the you think I'm a bootlegger now with the GameCube games. The neighbor to where I went to daycare, this guy's name was Craig. First ever Craig I knew. Way overweight, like 400 pounds. Big guy, like real tall too. Big computer guy in I guess late 90s, early 2000s, and he gave me just a stack of games, and obviously these were bootleg because like none of them had the like art with them boxes. They were just like with a pen, just wrote the title on there, Bass Fishing 2. Then I mean, like got them installed and stuff to other ones that he didn't have discs for. But yeah, completely bootlegged. But hey, it set me up. As far as there was a bass fishing one. Don't remember the name of it, but that's one game I'd love to play again because the graphics were horrible, but like I just remember catching like 110-pound catfish and just the battle would take like 10 minutes and it's just the coolest thing in the world, finding different spots. Some I've sat down and I've tried to look up before, but yeah, I can just never remember the name to it.
Yeah, no, whenever I could get access to a computer, I was always on the Congregate or Addicting Games or
Addicting Games.
Yeah,
I think Addicting Games had like Smash 64 on there. One
really?
Did. Yeah.
Huh. Actually, I do remember that.
I remember just because like I didn't even know what Smash 64 was. I thought Melee was the first ever Smash, so I was like, what, did someone make a cheap version of Melee and put it on? Oh, the people that love 64 would hate that comment, but that's what 12-year-old Vince thought.
Right? But you know, Happy Wheels, that was the shit. But I even went on like the, you know, when you're really little and shit like that, and it's all you watch back in the day, but you would go on like CartoonNetwork.com, Nick.com, Disney Channel, and stuff like that, and they would have games for each of their shows and shit. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, I remember the Cartoon Network one. There's like a Scooby-Doo game. Oh, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world for like a day.
Right.
The Nickelodeon website. I remember going on there. It was like the SpongeBob 10th anniversary and just so crazy about getting to vote for like my 10 favorite episodes or whatever. It was such a big deal.
I remember I made a gigantic deal because they did a thing for Teen Titans on Cartoon Network. It was you're facing other people, and you're like basically like a Mortal Kombat type of thing. You like create your monster or some shit, and you're like fighting against other people or whatever. And like the winner of this tournament was going to appear or something like that on Cartoon Network. That never actually fucking happened. But I made such a big deal to get onto the computer to play that game, and I played for maybe 3.5 hours.
I remember there was one, I don't remember if it was Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, but they would advertise how, like, oh, in this game, you're going to fight CO2. And then, like, me and a buddy were always like, well, if you're on the computer, you're creating more CO2, right? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, oh, man.
But see,
they would advertise the games quite a bit.
Right. The biggest difference though with like gaming and stuff back in the day versus now, the wait times to even just play a game that you just bought, right? Like on the old consoles and stuff, you get your disc, you plug it in, load it up, and you just play it instantly, right? Yeah. Now it's 4, maybe 8 hours. Red Dead, when I had shitty internet, took 2 days.
Dude, that's you. I've told that to so many people too, and there's some people that don't even believe that, but like, it's like, hey, you have shitty internet.
Right.
It says, you were not even close to the router in the house. Like,
I was in a cement steel
Red
box
Dead is a
and away from the router. Yeah. Even with really good internet, it still takes like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's massive. It used to be just plug it in and you play, right? Now, for example, um, 45 minutes ago or something, I started up the PlayStation and I was going to tool around and see if there was anything new on Black Ops. Well, there's some kind of error message and it wouldn't let me do anything. So now I had to delete the entire game. Right now, it tells me it's going to be over 5 hours before I'll even be able to play it.
Damn.
So, I mean, you can't just fucking plug and play anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then like in the middle there, the 360, like there would be small updates, but there's nothing I remember unless you actually bought one of those games online. But like if you got the disc, there's no updates that big.
Yeah, none. Even when you bought something, it was almost just instantly play, even if it was a digital thing.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, back in those days, no one had good internet too.
Right.
So,
I mean, I was somebody that I like to look at all the demos for games, because then if I liked the demo, I'd bug my dad so I could go to the Best Buy and buy it.
Yeah.
Demos took maybe 2 minutes. I think. Go ahead.
Or just like, did your dad play any Xbox games?
He played Fallout 3. And he played God of War 3. But he was really big in Madden. I remember with the PS3, one of the Maddens, he stayed up for 2 days straight playing the franchise mode. The thing is, he never played a single game. He would only be the coach. He would do all the drafts.
Okay.
The hiring, the firing, the salary and shit.
Dude, okay. I can't laugh at that because that was me. They should have just made a game where you manage a team. I would have loved that. Because here's my argument.
Mm-hmm.
You can just hop in those games and just, even if your team's less talented, just go and body another team. 90.
Oh yeah.
Beat them 90-0. So I would do that just for a challenge.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can even do it still. It's a lot harder to just do that now on the newer Maddens, I feel like, which is kind of a shame because it's a cool way to kind of do it. I think they did have a game like that. I think it was called NFL Coach. It just wasn't that big of a deal, so nobody played it.
Yeah, that was the game. I know what you're talking about, NFL Coach. I think it was like NFL Coach 07 or 08 or something.
So
I never pulled the trigger on that, even years later, because it has really bad reviews.
But I think that's the thing, though, is everybody just wants to do that stuff, but then also still play the game and not just do the coaching stuff. So I feel like that's more of just a straight PC thing than anything.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, they should just make it like a mobile NFL Coach. Since it's pretty much just strategy and paying and salary, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is if they did that, then all the players you would sign would be like an overall 70, maybe an 80 here and there. Oh, if you want this overall 99, pay $5 per person.
Oh, they fuck it up with microtransactions, yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, it wouldn't even be fucking worth it.
Yeah, or like, they put you in a league with other real players, and then you pay to win.
Yep, and knowing me, I would get so pissed off. It's like, all right, I'll just buy one. Oh, I'm sorry to win a little bit. Let me buy one more.
That guy's got 3 99s.
Try to get 2 more. But yeah, I mean, shit. No, my dad was really big. He was big with the 90s, especially like the N64 and the Ataris and all that type of stuff too. He was really big with. But now he said he's grown out of it, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad, we'd play the GameCube stuff. But then, just like how you kind of said growing out of it, once we got the Wii, he'd do the Wii Sports, but
Mm-hmm.
he played Brawl once, and like, uh, not trying to like talk about Smash too much here, but his experience was like, no, this is like a toddler game, and
I can see
yeah,
that. Um,
it just came off as like a little kid's game on the Wii, even
right,
even the Mario Karts where you play that with me on the GameCube, yeah.
right.
And
Yeah,
again, Madden he was into, and yeah, it was horrible on the Wii, like I was talking about earlier.
right. Yeah, no, my dad just wanted to play the sports games. That was it, especially the PGA stuff. And I think what really made it so he didn't want to play games anymore was when they canceled all the PGA Tour games, all the Tiger Woods and shit.
They canceled because no one was buying it, or
I have no idea. Or it was right when Tiger Woods was horrible and had all those accusations kind of going around until recently. So they just stopped making golf games.
oh,
And that's kind of when he stopped playing it as well too. So it's kind of a back and forth. Once they stop making your games, then there's not a whole lot more to play.
mm-hmm.
So,
Would he ever play
but
Wii golf?
he hated Wii golf. I know that. I know when the Wii came out, I remember they were talking about it like crazy on the news and stuff. Is lines down fucking blocks and blocks and blocks, so everybody could get this interactive console, basically. And some way, somehow, he was able to get it for us for Christmas, and all we did was play Wii Sports. That was the only game I think we ever really fully played on it, because the game that it came with that had like pool and shit like that was almost impossible to play sometimes.
Oh, you're talking about Wii Play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost impossible to play sometimes unless you got it like just right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Wii Sports was just game changing.
Yeah.
For tennis especially, everybody fucking loved the tennis. I like the boxing a lot. Bowling, you could kind of cheat with it there and there.
Yeah. You
But
kind of cheat with all of them.
yeah, but it was so much fun. That was really fun. I think I only bought one other game for the Wii. It was a WWE game, and I was so mad at it. I don't think I really ever picked up the Wii too much more after that until I was in college and we were playing Smash.
Yeah. See, I had a good experience with Wii WWE.
I thought it was
all the
horrible.
single players. Created some fucked up characters. It's not one of my all-time favorites, but
No.
it was one of my favorites for Wii games. I know on the WWE. The Wii Golf, that was actually probably my favorite of the Wii games. Because it wasn't baseball, because that was just luck.
Right.
Boxing, the more I played that, the less I liked it.
Sure.
Tennis, wasn't crazy about. What other one am I missing? Bowling. Yeah,
Yep.
and bowling probably my second favorite, but got too repetitive for me.
Right. And even like the tennis one was kind of fun doing like the practice where you would hit it against the wall. And either some of the wall would go away or whatever too.
Yeah. Now, yep. You just reminded me because they on the Wii Sports that no one talks about. They had some really good like mini games like that. I remember bowling had some weird ones, good ones.
Yep. And kind of the full on opposite of the Wii just because it launched a lot of the interactive thing. It was almost like we were getting a taste for VR.
Yeah.
So now with the Quest that I have, kind of going more to today's gaming, I actually was able to find almost like a Wii Sports game on the Quest. And it has bowling, it has tennis, it has baseball. I think those are the only three that it has. I haven't bought it yet. I probably will. I did play the demo though. It was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It needs a little bit more work to it because you can't really move for the tennis court part. And it was kind of hard to switch it from because I'm left-handed for the glove for baseball and shit like that.
Oh.
So that took a little bit of work.
Maybe they just don't have the left-handed mode in the demo.
They do. They just fucking hit it.
Oh.
It was like the most hidden thing ever. But it was actually really cool. So it's kind of nice that they kind of bring things full center because I think they almost kind of assumed that people would almost want another Wii Sports style game because it was just so popular that they brought it into the Oculus, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm. You ever try out the Wii Fit?
No.
Yeah. I never tried that out, and I don't even know anyone that played that or had the board or any of that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know anybody that got that either. One game I really wanted to get was like a UFC like trainer that was supposed to be on there because it was like, oh yeah, we'll keep track of all your movements and all that shit. And now I'm thinking, God, I'll fucking have to buy it because there's no way they could track all my fucking movements on a game like that. It has no camera or anything like that. And you're just holding the fucking controllers the whole time. Just fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm. You ever play or tried playing Call of Duty on the Wii?
Yes. It was your favorite one too.
Black Ops?
No, it was World at War.
Yeah. I have World at War on the Wii.
I didn't have the gun.
I didn't either.
So holding the thing with one hand, the little Joy-Con, the nunchuck I think it was called, the little joystick, and then trying to aim with the Wii thing. Wasn't so much fun.
It was horrible.
I think I played it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I put it down and I never picked it up again. Not even when zombies came out.
It didn't have zombies. It was the PS2 version. That's what I was going to get into. I beat that whole campaign and then found out at the end that it didn't have zombies. Didn't enjoy it at all. Oh, the aim.
The aim was just absolutely horrible.
Because I feel like thinking back to the Wii, you kind of get nostalgic, think of the good times, but you just it would randomly lose your Wii remotes, and it was by no means perfect, and we're shooting a gun, and all of a sudden you're shooting at the fucking sun or down at your own feet.
I think about it too, though. Even when it comes to World at War and not having the gun attachment, it's a little piece of plastic. It's fucking Nintendo. Trying to make you spend another $200 on this stupid piece of plastic so you can actually aim the gun a little bit easier on Call of Duty.
Yeah, talking about the gun piece too. I think it's called the Zapper. I think that's what they named the accessory. There was one game I wanted to try with you back in college. It was a paintball one. But that one, I should have bought it back when it was like $9, $10. But now any website you buy it from, it's like 60.
Jeez.
So I was like, fuck it, no. And I just saw some things that look cool, but it's a Wii game, man. Like, it's more than likely gonna disappoint me.
Right.
Online on the Wii. You ever use any of the online features?
Was there online for Wii Sports?
Yeah. Or, well, I don't know about Wii Sports, but other, like,
I don't think
download things or other games had online.
Me and my brother would do that Wii Me World or some shit. And when the Mii's were first like introduced, there was like you could walk around with your Mii or whatever, and there was some kind of online feature with that. Otherwise, no. We never really did too much with online. I mean,
so
really, no.
Yeah, I kind of bring that up because people talk about how Smash Ultimate has horrible online. Brawl had horrible online. Like
Nintendo has horrible online. Period.
So did you see the article too that like Nintendo's online servers were just like, I'm not like a server expert, but like the technology was made in like 98 and they finally announced that they're like doing a whole revamp. Like, what the fuck, Nintendo?
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, even when we were in college and we would try to play Smash online, it was horrible. Every single lobby we would get into was fucking laggy as all hell.
Yeah.
And as soon as you saw the little Japanese names, you're like, oh, fuck me. This is going to be a 5 match when it's only supposed to be 2. And there's just no way to get out of it unless you want the cooldown.
Yeah.
So, it was horrible. Horrible.
But like, then there's some like decent lobbies, but Brawl, because they would only let you do 4 people, 2 minutes, items, random map. Oh, it was every match lag. You'd have to fucking pay me to play that again.
Right.
Or to suffer through that again.
See, I think right there in that age was like the like consoles were at its best too, because like for PC especially, there really wasn't any good PC games out besides like the strategy games or World of Warcraft or anything like that, because all the other PC games kind of just sucked unless you went on to those websites like Addicting Games or anything like that. It was like the hype for consoles because, you had the PS2 and I think right there was 360 right around the corner. PS2 didn't have the greatest online in the world, or PS3. But it got the job done, and obviously they also had that gigantic hack. But 360, but it was free for the PlayStation. 360, even though you had to pay for it, had the greatest online community and just connection ever.
Yeah,
easily.
Because like people
better than PC even.
Because, people, always talk about how everyone had a mic and cussed each other out and all that. But, like, everyone would love to go back to one of those nights. With the buddies, those lobbies, Modern Warfare 2,
Right. And you didn't need great internet. You just needed halfway decent.
Right.
You didn't have to be, well, back in that day, you had to be hardwired in, but... it was just more seamless.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot less issues.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, I don't know, maybe it's just because of game sizes or whatever. It was just a lot easier to play, and it was just so much more fun. Much more fun.
And I would argue, even with all the shit talk, less tryhards and just like less knowledge, because nowadays everyone goes online and knows exactly what to do, and like Fortnite is such an example of that. Like,
right?
How
you
just get rocked, and like just randomly one time in Fortnite, I remember too how like you were bitching how like some kids were killing you up in a tree, some Fortnite game, and you're like telling the fucking kids, they know all the spots.
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, shit. Even with like just buying games in general, I only buy games for two reasons. I either saw a trailer on the Xbox store, because I went on YouTube or anything like that. I either saw the trailer on TV or on the actual store itself, or word of mouth. So
yeah, right. Who on YouTube? Yeah, in the late 2000s was. Yeah, did you see play a game, and then it wasn't even that much for video games on there. There are videos of people like destroying Xbox 360s, but yeah, who did you watch play Halo or something? Maybe Call of Duty at the end.
Yeah, no, you didn't. Yeah, it was really just, and even the people that really actually uploaded that stuff was the full-on tryhards with the commentary, the really old school commentary shit, which was
White
just.
Boy.
Well, yeah, it was claw your eyes out and don't even listen because it was just horrible. Hi guys, welcome to my new King Call of Duty, and I guess I'm just gonna keep talking just like this throughout the entire 12-minute clip and blah 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 blah. That was horrible. Horrible.
Have you at least seen parts of PewDiePie's 100 sub video on Black?
No.
And he was playing Black. Yeah, he was playing Black Ops, the first one, and doesn't sound like he does today at all. But yeah, he was so happy. Some other people have referenced. But yeah, 2000s. What a time to play games.
It was definitely the height. As far as certain games coming to light, I mean, almost every single channel you clicked onto was a Mountain Dew World of Warcraft commercial, which those were the greatest. And even some Halo ones and stuff like that too. Yeah. No, it was. Yeah. Some really cool games came out. I know one of my favorites was the Godfather games. We've made two of those, and those were awesome games.
Mm-hmm. How much money were original Xbox games?
I don't know. I only bought games at GameStop at the time, and they were all the pre-owned ones.
I asked just because I guess that's something new about this age, versus back then. People spend a whole lot more these days.
Oh, yeah.
GameCube games used to only be $35. Brand new.
I remember even going to the video store to rent original Xbox games.
Oh, Blockbuster?
I think it was Home Videos. But
well, maybe by you, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Home Videos, and then even next door they had even more games. It was like a GameStop's type of store, but it was just video game rentals. Mm-hmm. It was just massive and great.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was real into Blockbuster because like his mom worked there, and oh man, his like score on Xbox is like super high just because. Well, and again, like we were saying, it was
Hmm.
a lot easier to rent games when the first day you didn't need to download them.
Right.
Just pop it in and play.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Because I think Blockbuster, you were supposed to return games within a couple days.
Yeah.
I
I
think it
think
was
it
like
was like
$7 for a couple days.
yeah. And I think I rented Spartan and Total Warrior like 50 million times from there, and until I eventually bought it.
I
And I
never
bought
I
it.
never rented GameCube games though, or Wii or any of that. Um, uh, with the Wii, did you ever play or see Sonic and Mario Olympic Games?
Uh, no, I remember the trailer back in the day for it. Um, yeah, no, I remember the trailer and I wanted to play it. Heard it sucked, but
Some of the sports were better than others.
sure.
Like I specifically remember the archery in that game was fucked up. like like literally like literally broken. But then like other ones were
Right.
were playable. And everyone's like, "How do you fuck up archery?" But I don't know. Just you gotta play it to know what I'm saying.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I actually like remember the trailer super fucking clearly. Because it was like every commercial for the actual Olympics going on that year. Right after it would be the Mario Olympics trailer. Um, and I really wanted to get in and play it. But yeah, no,
But
never
yeah,
got it.
it was pretty good. I never played the winter one though, only the summer. Um, what else was the GameCube had online, but only for like one game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there'd be an adapter you could plug into the bottom of the GameCube, plug in an Ethernet port, um, and then the game was like Star something online.
Huh.
If you ever saw the GameCube controllers with a keyboard in the middle, those are made just for that game because you could type messages. I never did that back in the day. Didn't know it was a thing until sometime in college. I saw a random YouTube video on it, or I saw the Did You Know Gaming.
Sure.
Okay, so here's a big topic too that kids, uh, people younger than us won't totally understand. Were there any games in the 2000s you could not figure out, like a single player, you could not figure out, and like, nowadays you can just do walkthroughs, but like you just
Yeah.
weren't able to access a walkthrough.
So I remember one game in particular that fully stands out. Um, it was the Incredibles video game on the PlayStation 2. I could beat the entire game more or less, inside and out, up until a certain level. You're like in the middle of an island, and you got to find your way to like the next stage. And me and my brother would look all over, do everything possible, and just could never figure it out. So we would just restart the game over and over until we got to that point. um, for whatever reason, it was always the movie video games that eventually just hit a point where you just kind of hit a brick wall.
Yep, and I was just gonna say I had that with a SpongeBob game. It came with the GameCube, uh, and it was a level somewhere towards the end that looked everywhere for. I was looking for something like a key, never could find it, and again didn't have walkthroughs, and
Right.
oh, that pissed me off. And then yeah, I guess I just bounce around and play some older stuff in there, but oh, the kids will never understand. Then of course Sunshine back in the day, but that one, just the mechanics pissed me off too much to keep playing it. uh, or Wind Waker. Oh man, that one was just, they made it way too confusing for kids. I think they remastered it for the Wii U, and I think they did some things to help the people out, just knowing where to
Right.
go. But otherwise,
Um,
yeah.
I know this will kind of surprise you. Besides Battlefield, my first like solo kind of experience for online was on the Xbox, the original. Any ideas what my first online game would be for solo?
Halo.
No. Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Yeah, because I played the shit out of the first one and eventually got the second one and instantly played online when I could. Yeah.
And
I don't. Yeah.
that's one game, like, people go back to the 2000s, talk about Call of Duty, but like we've talked about before, that's one that people don't talk about enough, because it's just, oh man, like playing with another person and just having so many other bots to kill, and
Mm-hmm.
just that open, like, area, whatever you want
Right.
to call it. Oh, and then Star Wars characters.
Well, and that's the cool thing too, because maybe like 6 months ago, I was geeking out about it like crazy to you and Jackson. It was right. It was shortly after I got the Xbox One. Um, the free game for gold was the original Battlefront, and I was freaking out. I could not wait. I just never thought that would be an option to play ever again. And there it was. I thought I would have to get like a PC or something to finally play those games, and and I fucking downloaded it. Now it's a little easy. It's a lot easier than I remember it being. But it's still fucking great.
which I can kind of see, because I remember like doing it with a buddy and just destroying the other team, but still just, I don't know, just
But
having
it would
so
still
many.
get close,
Yeah.
Because I know when I would play it, I'd be at like 70 kills. And the other team only has like 200, but all the rest of my teammate only have like 2 kills between all of them. And then on the other team, it's 20, 15, 10, whatever. But yeah.
That one, just again having so many different people or bots on a battlefield. Oh, it was just, again, it's someone who had just been playing the GameCube. That was like a whoa,
Right.
like, this is sick.
Hell yeah. And it's like a full on actual like war, like battle type of shit. Because usually, like, especially back in the day games and shit, even nowadays some games, it's like you're leading up to this gigantic battle or war or something, and you're doing like the outskirts shit. You're not in the middle of that. And maybe that's why I also really love the Spartan Total Warrior back in the day, because especially in one of the levels, it's literally you and like 150 guys versus like 1,000 other guys, and you're just fucking tearing apart an army. Which was just absolutely sick. But yeah, old days.
Yeah, the days. Yeah. What else was played back then? You remember buying memory cards?
I never bought any. I always seem to just have some because I would swipe them. But yeah.
What do you mean swipe them?
Whenever I would see somebody has memory cards, I would
Wow.
I would just take them and then I would delete all their stuff. So then when they came over, I had my name written on it. It's like, no, these are my games.
Dude. Well, I don't know about Xbox, but for the GameCube, they're like $15.
I know with the Xbox, I use the internal memory, but for the PS2, is those little sticks. And those are what I would swipe.
You know, in the beginning for those memory sticks, there's like a big shortage. Like I've seen videos on it on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I mean, they sold is kind of because they sold way more PlayStation 2s than they thought they were going to, Sony. So.
But yeah, no, I would swipe sticks all the fucking time. I think by the end of my PS2 life, I had like 20 sticks.
Yeah, and I mean that's one area gaming's gotten better. Yeah, games are bigger, more memory, but like the sticks were so small back in, like we're talking about megabytes. So even I had a couple of GameCube sticks, and I would have been nicer to even had a third. And you know, there's only 2 slots on the GameCube.
Well, it was always trying to figure out which stick had your certain save data.
Yeah, which is dumb. Don't have to worry about that today.
Mm-hmm. Now you just have to worry about the space on your console.
Yeah,
like
console.
Crazy.
Not your PC.
Not until you run out of space and then you gotta buy a whole other thing.
I saw like a 64 terabyte memory thing the other day. And it wasn't in a computer, but like yeah, the memory unit had like its own plug. It was kind of crazy.
Huh.
I should have took a photo of it. I'm surprised I didn't. To like, hey, here's your memory for you, because it was like $2 to $3 grand. the big 64 terabyte hog. But yeah, it's just so crazy because yeah, back in the GameCube games, like 64 megabytes was a lot.
Right.
Did you ever play Tak and the Great Juju Challenge on console?
Yeah. But I played it at my aunt's house, I remember.
What did she have? Or what did they have there?
I think it was a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And I only played it the one time or whatever. Because they wouldn't let me play on the console ever again because I deleted all his saves. But I played it. That's the thing. Nobody would let me on their consoles at a certain point because I would delete everybody's saves. Because I wanted to start fresh. I remember my cousins in Texas got really mad and told on me because on their N64, I deleted his Super Mario 64 game save. And I was like, I don't know why you make it such a fucking big deal. I got past where you were, stupid. And I was like flipping shit. I was like, I'm already past it. Chill out.
Jeez. You're never touching my Game Boy games. That shit's getting erased. Granted, it probably already is, but
yeah, no. If there's only one slot, then it's like, all right, remove. Yes.
Wasn't me. It was
I needed a tutorial. I didn't know how to play. They only tell you how to play at the very beginning of the game.
I didn't know hitting new game would do that. Yeah, Memory Six. But yeah, Attack. That was a single player. Oh man, I played that one start to finish several times. That one had some of the best cutscenes too, because they were actually halfway funny. That is one. If there was a way to download that on PC, oh man, I'd love to play that. Just to, and obviously I don't want to pay a bunch of money for it, but
Right.
I'd pay a few pay a few bucks. And if you got that too, that'd be cool. Co-op. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I mean not too hard, but I'd love to see the cutscenes again. I want to see what I used to laugh at. Maybe not.
Well, and now if you look at it, it's probably all fucking cringe and shit. Because I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, shit, I had a PSP back in the day. Um, I only had like 3 games for it, but I would love to play them again because I know like one of them in particular, I had just so much fun playing, and I played it a million times, and it was entertaining as all hell. But it's probably just cringe and horrible now.
Mm-hmm.
But no, PSP was awesome. I love that thing.
I only knew one person that had a PSP.
That's where I played Force Unleashed, and then I played.
Oh god, I got that on the Wii. Only ever played the first level because I was like, oh my god, this is so boring.
Probably because it was on the fucking Wii.
Yeah, and it was like overly easy.
Oh yeah, the first level is like really easy, and then you get harder and harder and harder or whatever too. But yeah, I never played the second one for that. But then also it was like a roller coaster tycoon one, so I thought it was kind of cool just to build roller coasters. And then Dax from like Jack and Dax, but he had his like own little side game, which was awesome too. God, those were just fucking days.
Yeah. Did you ever play any of the Sims games?
Yeah, way too much.
Which one?
So my first little piece of Sims was actually on a cell phone. My aunt's like little flip phone back in the day was a Sim City. I played the shit out of that because I would just run her battery dry. And then Sim 3 on the Xbox at a buddy's house. He showed it to me. Then I stole it from him.
Dude, you were that guy back in the day.
And I played it at my place. I eventually gave it back when he found out I took it. And then no, it was Sims 2, I think, actually, on the Xbox. And then I bought Sims 3 for the PC for my mom's computer. And I played the shit out of that like crazy. And I even went to the lengths to buy 4 for the PlayStation when it was on sale. I think I played it one time, and that was it.
Does The Sims have any kind of co-op?
I would assume it would have to, but I don't know.
Because I just asked because everyone that I've never played any Sims, seen any gameplay, but anyone that does, I feel like I asked that too. Not only have they played it, but they've just put like massive hours into it.
Yeah, it's so boring that it's entertaining.
What?
Because it's entertaining, creating your character, picking out his clothes, then you build the house and shit. And that's actually kind of fun, like building the house, because, you start from the rock bottom, But then you actually like start playing the game. Like you send him to work, then you make sure he's eating and shit like that. And eventually you kind of just get bored with it. And then you start killing him. Like, you would send him to go and swim in the pool, and then you'd hurry up and build a square box around the pool so he couldn't get out, and then eventually he drowns. Or there's food that's been out for 2 weeks. You just have him eat it and watch him fucking throw up till he dies. You know, that kind of shit.
You're whack. You're. What is wrong
Or you
with
have them all in the house, and then you delete all the doors so you can't get out. And then they basically like go nuts, and it's Hunger Games.
Dude.
Hey, that's what you do. That's Sims, man.
Shit, I ain't playing multiplayer Sims with you now. I'll go on there. Like, I'll be going fucking crazy.
The house will be set on fire and there'll be no way out. Hey man, the game's about life. Shit happens. Sometimes you just don't have a fucking door. Figure it out. His fault he didn't climb through the fucking window.
Okay, so besides the Sims game, yeah, so where I went to daycare, there was another daycare right across from us, and a kid I knew real well, Marky, was his name, and he would occasionally take my Pokemon games and change shit and lie and say it was somebody else's, but then all the Pokemon would be, you know, my names and stuff, and exactly where I was.
Right.
Also steal the fucking cards.
Yeah. I never got into Pokemon, but I was definitely big for a while into Yu-Gi-Oh. That was kind of my game.
Take those cards from me too. The first I remember too when I was young, right there with SpongeBob, the first set of Yu-Gi-Oh characters. I loved to watch that. I say the first set because after that I lost interest.
Yeah.
Those other people. You ever bring your cards to school?
Yep, and that was probably the only reason I actually got into Yu-Gi-Oh is because everybody was bringing their cards into school, and then everybody would get more. So then you would go to Walmart or Target and go to the back and get another pack or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I never fully got it either. Like, eventually you learn the rules of the game and you play and yada yada yada. I liked watching the show and shit like that because it's so popular. But then once people started to not play it, I was like looking at the cards and like, wow, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And eventually they just disappeared.
Yep. And yeah, I mean that's also kind of why I'll never pick it up because, like, I don't know, the rules were just I don't know how to say it, but like just not real strict, I guess.
Right.
You have that guy that equipped, 10 different magic cards to one person, and it had fucking 100,000 damage.
Right. And God Monster and just takes you out.
That would have been Yu-Gi-Oh! With Jackson. Anyways, but yeah, that's who you would have been when we were young. Taking that shit. But yeah, at school, elementary school, one day, I remember the Fire Red I still have now. Pokemon Fire Red. It was just lying on the ground at recess one day. Oh, made my fucking day. New Pokemon game. Cause yeah, Game Boy games, they were almost as expensive as GameCube. They were like $30.
Oh yeah, and yeah, there was no way I was gonna convince my mom or my dad to buy me a Game Boy game ever.
Mm-hmm.
ever. But yeah, yeah. Huh? What else you got? Anything?
So what about GameCube or Switch?